Hi, I'm Karan Nai with Nai Law, and I have a question for my accountant. I do some volunteer work for a charity. What can I deduct from my taxes for volunteering?
As you may know, donations to a charity of cash or property are generally tax deductible if you used itemized deductions on your tax return. One may stand to reason by the same logic that the donation of something even more valuable to you, your time, would also be deductible. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Donations of time or services aren't deductible. It doesn't matter if it's simple administrative work, such as checking in attendees at a fundraising event, or if it's work requiring significant experience and expertise that would be much costlier to the charity if it had to pay for it, such as skilled carpentry or legal counsel.
However, you can potentially deduct out-of-pocket costs associated with your volunteer work. For you to be able to deduct your volunteer expenses, the first requirement is that the organization be a qualified charity. Assuming the charity is qualified, you may be able to deduct out of pocket for things like unreimbursed expenses directly connected with the services you're providing. A variety of expenses can qualify for the deduction. For example, supplies you use in the activity may be deductible. The cost of a uniform you must wear during the activity may also be deductible. Transportation costs to and from the volunteer activity generally are deductible, either the actual cost or 14 cents per charitable mile driven. But you must be the volunteer. If, say, you drive your elderly mother to the nature center where she's volunteering, you can't deduct the cost. You also can't deduct transportation costs you've been incurring even if you weren't volunteering. For example, if you take a commuter train downtown to work, then walk to a nearby volunteer event after work, and take the train back home afterwards, you won't be able to deduct your train fares. But if you take a cab from work to the volunteer event, then you potentially can deduct the cab fare for that leg of your transportation. Volunteer travel transportation costs may also be deductible for out-of-town travel associated with volunteering. Lodging and meal costs may also be deductible.
The key to deductibility is that there is no significant element of personal pleasure, recreation, or vacation in the travel. If only a small portion of your trip involves volunteer work, your travel expenses generally won't be deductible. Keep careful records. The IRS may challenge charitable deductions for out-of-pocket costs, so it's important to keep careful records. And that's another question for my accountant. If you have questions about this topic, then let the experts at FMA CPA show you the way.